Dear.
Welcome to behind the scenes of the Aligned Business Woman podcast. Vanessa here, and I have the lovely Chrisie Augustina, my biz bestie, and her dog Augustina. You might be
That's
hearing
true.
her.
We're trying to find
Hello.
her.
You might hear her bark here and there. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Hold up. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
You just
Did
heard
you
it.
hear that echo?
No, I hear no echo.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to go live on Instagram too. I don't know if we're going live on Instagram, but hello. Welcome to Behind the Scenes, the raw, unedited version of what goes on for when I'm doing the recording for the podcast. Chrissy, thank you for being here. Chrissy is my biz bestie and energy healer, and she's actually going to be at the Aligned Business Woman Circle Vision Boards and Goal Mapping Conference, which I'm so excited about because, believe it or not, Chrissy and I have never met in person. We connected through
That's crazy.
yeah, we connected through Michelle Terpstra's program, gosh, almost 2-3 years ago, and she is just so magnetic that she's
Oh,
her energy is enveloping, and you just feel so accepted and
that is so
so
sweet.
loved
I
by
would say the same thing about you, and our birthday is one day apart. That may mean nothing to other people, but to
her.
me, it means like so much.
One day, 1 year, yes. So,
I know.
anyways,
Actually,
welcome.
just like my husband. Well, we're 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, but regardless, it's still the one time.
Well, welcome to the podcast and welcome to everywhere we're streaming live. So if
Thank
you
you,
are
and hi,
tuning
everybody.
in, if you're tuning in, please say hello. Let us know in the comments that you're here because Chrissy's going to do a live energy reading for some lucky
I can
winner.
do
So you
several.
gotta, oh yeah, that'd be great. We could do a couple or several, however many. But let's
Yeah.
talk about energy and business and aligning your energy to your goals. Let's talk all
Yeah.
about that.
Okay, before we do that, I do want to just say for anybody that's hanging out with us, just to set up the readings for the end, if you do hang out with us, it's going to be super simple. Basically, just with your name, that you can. We'll go into the details at the end, but I just want to let people know that that is an option. I know you mentioned it, but hang around and you'll get a really we'll say like a short insight of like what you need to know right now. It's something that's vibrating in your energy field right now. So, okay, sorry.
Ooh, to prepare them for 2024? Oh, that's
That
really
sounds
good.
fun. We can really
Yeah.
we can read the energy. We can totally set that as the intention. So anyway.
Sweet. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you do, your business, and then we'll dive into the rest of it.
Thank you. Okay, well, definitely this is in a transition, kind of. Actually, I was thinking about it while I was walking my dog before this, and it was like, really, this is like an evolution, an emergence, and everything is coming together. So let me explain what that means. So Vanessa and I met through my copywriting business, actually. And so in 2018, I actually, at that time, I was a full-time massage therapist. Do you know that about me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was a full-time massage therapist, and really part of my story was that I fell in love with a man across the country. And because of that, I was like, crap, like he's in Colorado, I was in Florida, and I knew that I was going to have to move there, and I really hate winter. That's true. And that was motivating enough for me to be like, I need to have, I don't know how this came in my mind, but I was like, I need to have an online business. And you know how miracles work. It's just like all this stuff kind of happened all at the same time, and it really did feel miraculous. I discovered copywriting, never heard of it, and I started a copywriting business. And because this was pre 2020, telling people that you were starting an online business was still kind of weird. Like it wasn't normalized yet, and it seemed very ambitious. It was like, I'm gonna just have this business that I can do anywhere. So I did that, and that was awesome. And I guess I really didn't know that it would unfold like this, but because it makes a lot of sense in retrospect, because of my healing background, I ended up writing copy for healers. And all my clients were law of attraction coaches, success coaches, since that really goes well with all of that, obviously. I don't have to tell you, I probably don't have to tell your audience. Personal development. And then I mastered how do you talk about your personal development business, which is really cool. And honestly, this gives me goosebumps and a little bit teary to think about that. I see how like God's plan is so like incredible, because I'm like, I know that, and I don't know, this is a sore spot, but I know that something that a lot of healers struggle with is, how do I talk about what I do? And that's something I have literally mastered over the last like 6 years or maybe 7, right? Anyways, fast forward to what do I do today? Now I basically had like I don't know, like a big breakdown where I just realized like I let me tell you, I discovered this term called shadow work. And this is when you have basically created a career for yourself that is almost your purpose work. And have you heard of that?
I've heard of shadow work, but I haven't heard it in this context. Please go.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it from Rebecca Campbell, which is the lady who designed those beautiful cards that I'm always using, those beautiful oracle cards. But I recently discovered that it's actually like something from that book, Artist's Way, and so she talks about that because it's really common, especially for writers, to become like a copywriter when really you wanted to be a novelist. But the thing for me is, I really didn't want to be a writer. I really wanted to be all in on my healing. And so all of that to say, I see that everything is coming together because now I really wanted to do, I still do healing actually. You know that I do lymphatic massage and energy work a couple of days a week, but I'm bringing it all online. And that has been very stretchy for me. And so I've devoted the last like year to studying and really like getting my skills to a place where this was just like my own personal thing where I didn't need to have my hands on a body in order to read the energy. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. And I guess I'm launching that business now for sure. That's where it's at. I'm launching that business now. And it's amazing. And I'm so excited. And it's just so fun. And, we already had a session. It's just like, it's so easy that honestly, the next mindset work I'm going to have to do and energy blocks, we were talking about energy blocks, that I'll have to do is I noticed this really interesting mindset piece come up, or like this thought that maybe like people in the audience can relate to, which is I get paid for work. That's a belief I have. I get paid for work. And I'm like, oh crap, what happens if my work doesn't feel like work?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this like next chapter in 2024.
I just love how you were on the outside. So yeah, I love how you were like, if you think about it, you were on the outside with the copywriting and helping them find their voice or just, organize it. But
Absolutely.
then
Yeah.
with having those energy blocks, you couldn't fully get into what do we really need to organize within. And so now you're doing the inner work with them so that it makes that
Oh,
outer work so much easier, or the outer
oh,
presentation.
absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you're right. Sometimes we don't realize that when our lives go like this and we just be like, oh, what is wrong with us? Why can't we just go the right path? Why can't we hurry up and
Oh,
get
yeah.
there? But that's God's way of, hey, let's pick up this tool here. Let's
I
pick up this right
know.
there, right? You're going to need this. I know you're going to need
Oh,
this because what does he say in Jeremiah? Like, for I know the plans I have for you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
I
It
know.
feels so
I
good.
know. I know.
I love it.
It's funny you were saying that because actually, before this call, talk about like using your energy tools to make life easier. Before I did this call, I was having, well, I started sort of because now I do so much energy stuff and all. Anyway, the point is, I was like elevating you remember that tool I was working with you on where it's like, like shifting your crown chakra to gold. And basically like elevate, like basically what you're doing is it in like a sort of practical way is like connecting your thoughts, because this is where we get like, so we channel so much energy, all of us, we bring in all these thoughts, all this energy into our bodies, and we connect with the divine through our crown chakra. And so anyways, before this call, so that I could be really present and not feel nervous, I was raising my crown chakra to gold and connecting with that divine energy, right? And I was thinking, I wonder if I'll do something in my Facebook group around this, but I was thinking this is what that scripture means. That's like to have your thoughts, like his thoughts are higher, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I remember when I was like really focused on that scripture. Anyways, I don't know if that's making sense to you or not, but I'm really like, because you're bringing up scripture, and I was actually I was thinking about that right before this call. I was thinking, see, I'm doing this like practical thing of like settling my nerves by going to those higher thoughts, right? And it made me think of that scripture. And I thought that would be like a really interesting series. But anyway, tangent.
Yeah. And speaking of like calming your nerves and all of that, that's what we're going to be doing when we start the day for the Aligned Businesswoman
Yes,
Circle.
absolutely.
This meditation, and people sometimes dismiss this. And one thing I thought about today was, I've had some lashback about, oh, you meditate and I'm a Christian and all of that. And like, but God or Jesus meditated too. That's getting in prayer and just calming your mind. And an important part to me to disconnect from the negativity in the world, to disconnect from energies and thoughts and beliefs that are not ours, is to do that meditation and to calm our nervous system, to calm that inner chatter so that we can listen to his voice. So we can listen to that higher self, right?
Yeah.
And that goes perfectly in alignment to the clearing of the energy and aligning to the goals, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, because as long as we're plugged in, remember how that one lady bugged me and you're like, cut the cord, Vanessa, like you got tired of me talking about her. Guess I need to cut the cord again. Yeah. But as long as we're plugging into other people, we're sending our energy to them, we cannot send our energy and our focus to what we want to create.
Yeah. This is what you're speaking to is like having scattered energy versus like a focused energy, or even I would say scattered energy versus like an embodied energy. Oh, that gives me goosebumps like in a lot of places. But I don't know if this analogy will make sense to you, but like, have you ever walked into a room or like somebody else's car and you can feel, even if they're not in it, like you can feel them, like you just can feel them, you know what I mean? Like it feels like them. They're part of their energies there. That's why, right? So that's what happens when you're feeling scattered, or if you're worrying about something. They're like doing lawn outside. Can you hear that? Or
yeah, a little bit, but you're okay.
Bad. I can't
no,
do anything about it, but probably part of me was hoping you'd be like, no, but shit. Anyway, yeah, so talking about like scattering your energy versus like having it embodied. And the thing is, like all of this stuff, I was just talking about this with my husband this morning. God bless him for being able to deal with how weird I am. Morning talk. But I was talking about how all of this stuff is so simple to do. Like embodying your energy, it's like just a very simple thing you can do. You just call your energy back to you. That's it. That's it. Just choosing. We can call that intent. Intent is like so powerful. So just like calling your energy, noticing. So awareness is very powerful. Noticing that you're worried about something, like the lady who was like talking to you and trashed you, trying to make you feel bad about yourself and like what you do. And then you're talking to me about it. And I'm like, wait, you're holding this lady's energy. Release her energy and call your energy back to you. And that is so simple. And the thing I was talking to my husband about this morning is how this is literally our birthright. It's our birthright to be in touch with with our intuition, which is related to all this. It's basically having that awareness and calling your energy back to you. Like that's our nature. So it's very simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. And yet it is so incredibly empowering to live your life in this way. Now, as far as the live event goes, it was super cool. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to do that. That was amazing. I was so excited about that. I was like, oh my God, I invited a bunch of people to have sessions with me. And one of them invited me to do a live event. So cool. But anyways, but it was really cool too that you left it so open for me to kind of like craft how I could use my gifts, to really support the women who are going to be there that day. And I knew immediately, since the topic was going to be goal setting, we're gathering to create our basically vision cast our year. No big deal. It's like awesome. Yeah. I'm really excited about that. And so before you get into creation mode or co-creation mode, right? It's like you want to clear out like the past. You want to clear out baggage. You want to clear out blocks. And it's not like we're doing that. I don't know. I don't have to get too deep into that. But anyways, that's what we're going to do. And so I just been thinking about it and getting so excited. I visualize the group. I'm already, doing like positive, like setting the energy for the event. And so that it's going to be this very I talked about intent earlier. We are just, I'm saying this for the audience and for anybody who's out there who is going to be attending or wants to attend. Like, there's just so much intention and passion and purpose and mission that's going into creating this. It actually really makes me teary because I've witnessed that from you too.
Oh,
Like, I don't even want to say the two. Like, you're spearheading this thing. Like, yeah. Anyway, I could go on about that.
Thank you for noticing that. Yeah, Joanne, who is helping me create this event, she's an event coordinator, and she just says, I want to help you with this. Like, I want to help you with this because I see your passion, I see your heart. And I keep telling her, it's like, man, this is so bigger than me, Chrissy. And you know this. It's like I'm just going on autopilot. And I'm like, God, like, you're having me go to these places that I just wanted to be right here. And he's like, no. And I'm like, but I don't want to be famous. Yeah, like, I don't want to be this famous person. I'm not a public speaker. He's like, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the people that are going to be in the room. There's one person specifically that is going to create something bigger. And she needs to be there. And you're going to feed into her. You're going to pour into her. And she's going to be creating the ripple effect. And everyone else there too.
That's so exciting.
It's not about you. It's let me do my work through you. And so it's just been like, oh my gosh. And so I'm glad that you noticed that fire in me about this. And let's talk about.
I saw it in the reading that we did. And it's like all of the support that came in. It was like crazy. It was like, I think we had like a gang of angels come in. It was like, whoa, like, we're pulling out the big guns here. You are supported here. Yes. So I know there's like a big mission because I witnessed all the energy that is coming in to support you for this. I'm so excited about that.
I feel it. I mean, there's so many things that I would never expected, and I'm moving in places that, normally I would have been afraid to, and I'm doing it with excitement.
I love that.
Thank you. I want to talk about something really quickly. So if you're tuning in live, please drop your name here. If you want for Christy to do a reading for you a little bit later during this live, what she's going to do is just kind of give you some direction for 2024. So maybe something that you're not ready to, or you've been contemplating, right? We're going to be doing something like that. But
I'm going to going back and we'll see what comes up.
Yeah. So going back to the energy and pulling your energy back, let's talk about it in practical and a practical lens. Because if you think about it, if we are putting our energy and we're ruminating about a conversation that's happened, it might keep us from taking action. And if we're over here sad and depressed about something that happened, instead of seeing the lesson and letting it go, we are, I know we kind of like touched on it before, but let's do it like real life examples. Then what ends up happening, maybe we don't go out and post that, post on social media and reach out to a client, like what other things could you give examples for of like how in practical sense?
Well, I think this is a good time for me to kind of bring up what I was kind of touching on before we went live, where I was telling you, just something that I realized is, okay, so I've just actually been in awe to even realize this. And it just happened right before this call. I was walking my dog and contemplating this discussion. And then something that came through my mind was the memory of when mindset work was super woo-woo and not at all mainstream. And maybe I would think that a lot of people, if they're about our age then, or even older, they would remember that time where mindset was cutting edge and definitely not mainstream. And now it's super mainstream. I mean, you even see, I don't know how mainstream it is in medicine, but there is like a whole idea that you need to have like mind, body, integrative, all this stuff. So my point is, I feel like, because every time something becomes mainstream, that is evolution. And that means we're ready as like a collective to go deeper. And so mindset is not where it stops. It's not where it starts. There's something deeper that we're ready as a collective to explore. And that is that there's not just mindset blocks, but actually underneath that are energy blocks. And so we do have these, like, you could think of them as like ancestral, inherited. Some of it's also like environmental, like how you grew up, things that were normalized for you. But traumas, like everybody kind of experiences them differently. But these are places where you're unconsciously holding yourself back. And that's not just about changing your thoughts. That's first about moving energy, right? Because feeling blocked is like feeling stuck. That's energy that's not moving. Mm-hmm. And, you know, something I believe is like, I actually don't believe that you have to know like the root cause, like what happened in your life for you to heal it. I don't think you need to like know what this was the moment where I decided. That's actually, I feel like that's like a very mindset-y thing. But like, I really feel like if you can actually just close your eyes, think whatever is that thing that, you know, like we all kind of have those thought loops, right? If you get into your thought loop, and I don't mean like overly get into it, but just like say the thought and feel where you feel it in your body. That's enough for you to just, then from there, of course, you want to use like different, that's where having energy tools is helpful. But the idea is you really only have to connect with the feeling in your body to move it. That's it.
Yeah.
You really don't have to like, so anyway, you get where I'm going.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Specific examples. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but it was bringing up for me this idea that as far as like getting more practical, it's like moving the energy. So, but what did you mean exactly by like specific examples?
So like if I am over here sad
like
yeah, like if I'm over here sad and like just ruminating about what someone said, then I might not take action. And if I'm not taking action, I'm not going to reach my goals, right? Or I might let someone ruin my mood, and then I come off across as grumpy, or like I put out this bad energy, right?
So this is making me think of, I hope this answers your question too, but this is making me think of kind of, I did send you a voice note about this because we were going to do this. You were talking about wanting to sell the tickets for the event, right? And it's like, that's a goal. So I was like, okay, great. And then I'm like, well, why don't we just like, I can actually like read the energy. I can read the energy of anything. So that people may not know what that means. Don't worry about it. That's my job. Right. So like, but like, you know, so we can, by focusing on that goal, visualizing that goal, there's an energy around that goal. It hasn't manifested yet. So it's still in the energy space. But it's just really like a channel. I've attuned myself to like be able to like turn to that channel and check out that goal. And then I can check out your energy. And then I can see how close is that energy to your energy. Yesterday, I did a reading for a lady, and it was like a soul purpose type of reading. And I swear, like, I was like, I wanted to see her highest path. That's what it was. I was like looking at the energy of her highest path right now. And so I saw this like really bright yellow sphere. It was just beautiful. And it was so illuminated. It was very bright. And then I asked with my intention, I just asked like, show me her name is Kelly. I was like, show me Kelly's energy. So then it was like, now I'm looking at Kelly's energy. And they were smack dab right on top of each other with just a little bit of the edges of her goal, like just a little bit larger than her energy. And I said to her, I was like, you know what? I feel like these are basically overlapping. I feel like you're very aligned with your higher self right now, or with your higher path. But there's just a little bit of like an edge around. So that kind of tells me that there is room for you to grow into it. And what her guides were telling me was life wouldn't be fun if it was an exact match. That little bit of gap was left there for her to find joy every day, like to have actual purpose. But she was in line with her purpose. And she was like, I really feel that. So like in your case, you have a goal. You want to sell out your program or your live event. So I haven't done this yet, but what I would do is I'll literally just like that, ask to be shown the energy of your goal. And then I would probably look at that a little closely, see like what's working, what's not working. And that's probably like where we would go with that. And then I would ask, like, show me Vanessa's energy. And I can see like, how close are they? By the way, if they're not on top of each other, then that means there's a gap. between you and your goal.
Mm.
And if there's a gap between you and your goal, then I can ask, what's in the gap? It's so cool. And then I'm told what's in the gap. And then not because I seriously, I want to say, not because I'm special, but because I've just been training to like tune myself into that station. Really, it's just quieting my mind and listening. So I'm like, what's in the gap, and trusting. That's actually really big, because we're all getting answers, but most of us are not trusting it. And I feel like what's happened for me over the last year in this like energy program that I was in, more than anything, is just really trusting that what I say is not silly and that I'm not making it up. And then I do readings and people are like, oh my God, that's so spot on. I'm like, really?
It's like just channeling through you. Oh my God. Okay. So this came up
Yeah.
whenever you were talking about tuning into the frequency. So I like to be, you know how I like to story tell and I like to be
So
like,
the goal is that's what we're doing. That's because you were talking about like practical application for your goal. What you would want to do is close that gap. And by knowing what's in the gap, then we can, awareness starts to bring, that's by knowing the gap, what's in the gap, you start to bring awareness. And by bringing awareness, then you start to clear it. The energy starts to move right there just because it's witnessed. And then we can actually run some different energy healings to really clear it all out. And anyway, and then as you close the gap, now you're accelerating the manifestation.
Okay. So when you say that, okay, so sorry, Michelle Serta is on. She's tuning in, and so she wants to do a reading. And she texted me. She's like, "Don't you come on video?" I was like, "No, not unless you want to." She's like, "No."
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say like you tune into the frequency, this is like the way I like metaphors. I was like, "Oh, it's like this: you turn into a radio station, and then you're listening to the song, and then you decide, do I want to dance to it? And then you start moving to it. And then pretty soon you learn that dance. You know how sometimes there's trending dances that go along with songs? Then that is where you're aligning that. You're like, right? It's kind of like then you're going and taking action to be part of that song, or you know what I mean, to fully embody that song.
Yeah. If you want to listen to country, you need to tune into the country station. If you want to tune into hip hop or whatever, then then you need to tune into that station. So yeah, it really feels like that. It's just, I've had people ask me like at the spa, well, what are you working with? And now I actually work with more like archangels, and I can work with other people's guides. They present themselves. That's super cool. But I remember when this person asked me this, and I wasn't even doing any of that. This was like when I was like earlier in the program. And she's like, so, like, what is this? What is this information? Where are you pulling this from? And the answer, which is still true, but I just like, now I have a little more detail about that, but I was like, it's in the collective, just like Wi-Fi is running right by my head right now and you can't see it, but we're using it.
Yeah.
And it has information. And like, if I text you, like words are literally going to go from like Orlando to Houston.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. And so that information is like in the air, and like, so is so much other information. It's there. It's just like, are you attuning to it? And it's, like I said, it's our birthright. You just, but everything, there's like that marketing thing, like everything is, I don't know. I can't remember that quote or anything, but it has something to do with like, everything is vying for your attention. So
oh yeah,
that's the work, is like being quiet, or, go to an energy healer.
Yeah. That is so I love that you say that, because it's so true. And like we have such a hard time. Some people have a hard time at first believing in this stuff. But if you're right, like there is information moving through, somehow we don't even see it. And so speaking of like, tuning in and all the information that's, wanting our attention, there is like 2 million bits of information happening per second. And our filters decide what to bring in based on our belief system.
That's kind of scary to me.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. I don't even want to, that's going to be another episode or whatever later, but it's so interesting.
It's fine. It's just like so crazy, but anyways, it's modern times. And really, like one of my energy mentors, she talks about, because one of the things I've been like reckoning with is, I hope I'm using that word right, but anyway, I don't really know whether or not, but it's social media. And because part of my burnout stage was, I was so visible on social media, I just had to get the hell off of social media. But now I'm, slowly but surely starting to come back more, but it's just, I still get a little bit of PTSD. And my energy mentor, one of them, I have several, but one of them, she lives in South Africa. And by the way, she's amazing. And she's like, this is a magical portal where I meet and connect with women all over the world. And I'm like, that is such an empowered view of social media, because it's so true. Like, I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know so many of my really good friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it's easy to kind of poo-poo on social, but also there's a lot of really, really good things that come out of it. So anyway.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm about to put a banner on. I was typing it really quickly. It is 88 characters. Love the angel number there. So I'm putting it on.
I love that.
Right? Isn't that cool? I totally forgot about it. Like, let me type that up really quickly. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, Chrisie Augustina is going to open up the Aligned Businesswoman Circle January 11th for us with an energy clearing, a meditation, so we can calm our minds, calm our nervous system, so we can.
Also, I'm going to do the readings for the VIPs.
I was about to say that. Yeah. So if you are a VIP Ascend Pass, you get a energy goal alignment reading with Chrisie at the event. So after you set your vision board, and we focus, one goal is what the plan is for the CO power planning. I know it's going to be, it is all about intent for this event. And so once you do that, then you have the logical part out of the way, the strategy and the tactics. You are going to align your energy to this goal. So your mind, body, and soul are on board with this goal.
Oh, so good.
I know, goosebumps.
So you have that power to see it through, not because you're like white knuckling your goal, right? But it's like, you're drawn to it. You're magnetized by your mission, or, like, I would hope, actually, I think it's going to be at that level. When you're embodied in it, that's how it feels.
Yes. And I love what I can't share too much because it's going to be for the people that are attending, but the way we're doing the vision boards and the goal setting, it is literally like you are reprogramming your brain as you're doing it. And I'm leaving you with tools so that you can instantly get back into that energy whenever you're feeling like, I'm going off course, or I don't know about this. Like I'm going to show you how you can be resourceful, and you're not needing to, you basically go back into that same state. So, okay. So we're going to talk out a little bit more about that soul alignment part, if you don't mind, but can we do something with Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you called soul alignment. Great idea. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. I would be happy to do a little reading for Michelle, and I think I'll just read her energy and see if I have I'll see if, I don't know. It's all experimentation. So let's just and what I would like for you, if you don't mind, is just I'm gonna get centered, and then once ready, you can just say her name 3 times, first name, last name, and then I'll bring her energy here, and then I can read the energy. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm already kind of getting several colors. Go ahead and say her name 3 times, and then we'll really pick a color for her. Go ahead.
Michelle Serta. Michelle Serta. Michelle Serta.
Okay. So interesting. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just let you know what I'm seeing here. So, and then we can set an intent. But right away, when you said her name 3 times, is so interesting, because I was saying that colors were coming through, and they were, but then when you said her name, there was a distinct shift of purple coming through. It's very fuchsia, purple. And actually what's interesting to me about fuchsia is that's a color that, I do a lot of reading exchanges with my peers, and everybody picks up fuchsia as the first color for me. And I don't really necessarily hear that for a lot of people. I feel like that fuchsia is very, it's the reason why people feel my presence, and how do I want to say that? It's this bright, not necessarily fiery, but bright, big presence. So what I'm thinking is that that pink, that fuchsia, it's like very electric, and it gets even more electric as I even like witness and talk about it. I think the reason why this is coming through is so that I can communicate to you in case you don't know, like you have this very electric type of, it's not appearance, impression. That's the word I want to give. And for some reason, I'm even hearing that this is something that, whether you're aware of it or not, that part I'm not clear on, but it's something that is wanting to be communicated to you, because I'm hearing networking, and this is something that you can leverage when you're networking. And maybe you are aware of it, but again, like we were talking about earlier, when you are aware of something, you can leverage it intentionally. So that's something I'm seeing for you. And the way that the color showed up is it immediately like jumped almost like a arc, like a rainbow type of arc, even though it was not a rainbow color, to be clear. It was electric, like a fuchsia. Fuchsia is the color. Oh my gosh, it's really very cool to witness. So, but it's like an arc over to the left side. So I feel like this is communicating how in touch you are with your feminine side right now. And I would be so curious, like if you were here, I'd love to know like how, like what that feels like to you. Because actually, even when I say that, I already start getting answers. It's weird. Sometimes you don't even have to ask something, and it's like guides, or however you want to think of it, but it's like the information, the intelligence knows that I'm asking a question, and it's answering a question without me even having to ask. Thank you, which is so kind, which is to say that actually what they're saying is this, that you actually have mastered. So I'm witnessing, I'm witnessing your impression. To like reiterate, I'm witnessing the impression that you make, and they're wanting you to leverage that in networking. And I wonder, yes, I'm getting a yes as far as you leveraging that in 2024. The answer is yes. And I'm just trying to see if it's like a master, because I also see a little bit of black, which makes me feel like there's a little bit of space here, which is like, feels like a doubt, or like an unknowing, or like a blind spot. I wonder, Michelle, but I feel like you have been wanting, so yeah, I'm just going to say this. I feel like you have been wanting, I remember when I was in the space where I wanted to be talking to my guides. I feel like you have been wanting to talk with your guides, because it's not that I feel like they're here to communicate. They're communicating these things. Like when I said earlier, for example, like that, the networking and the seeing you like this and using these things in an empowered way, like those things feel like they're coming from your guides, which is very cool. But then I also see them over here, and I'm seeing this like black. Yeah, it's really interesting. And all of that is very structured. Whereas I see you as like flow and this arc, and it's like electric and all of this, but there is that like gap. So I'm just gonna, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch into, I'm kind of clearing that energy and kind of moving your guides a little bit closer to you. But in a moment here, I'm gonna switch to, yeah, because even when I do that, it like rounds out. I'm gonna wrap this up here in a second, but I don't want to end this without doing a little bit of an energy healing to accelerate the communication between you and your support team. Okay. They're going to help you in 2024 with your projects. And if you do this, if you lean into this consciously, meaning if you believe what I'm saying and you start, I think it's going to be we're going to ask for a next step. Okay. So that you can be in better communication with them. If you do the next step, which we're going to ask for in a moment, we're going to do a healing and then ask for next step. If you do the next step, you are going to have, your 2024 is going to be, I'm just getting this message. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. It's like you'll be doing 2024 supported. You won't be doing it alone. I just see this. It's like I could just keep seeing it over and over again. It's like I almost see it now that I see it so many times. I see it as like two paths. It's like you could do it alone, or you can do it with your guides. And I would really love for you to do it supported by your guides. So we're going to run a healing, and then we're going to ask for next step, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, cool. So Michelle, if you're listening, please, I'm getting distracted by energy. I'm going to run a healing. And so if you want to receive the healing, just think yes. Okay. Because nothing can ever be forced on us. We have free will. This is beautiful. I'm witnessing a green. that's closing in that gap that I saw that was black, and the green represents for me a healing. And it's like going deeper. Actually, it's kind of like almost like taking like a vacuum type of shape, like a funnel. Oh, that's wonderful. So we can actually release that energy and give it back to the earth to transmute it. That's amazing. And actually, now that we've done a healing here, I'm just going to run the Christ light healing. And I see that clearing some blockages in your heart. Of course. Yeah, opening your heart. That makes so much sense. Because once I acknowledge that and I see it and I start like sort of assisting that, then the energy starts moving up toward your throat and then to your third eye, which is your intuition, and then your crown. So it's like all of these upper chakras are, in this moment, they're getting a healing and they're wanting to be opened. And okay, I'm already receiving a next step. This is what I'm talking about. They're always like 2 steps ahead of me. It's amazing. So the next step that I'm receiving is just start asking, and then it's going to start showing up in your environment. But this intent to open your heart, like just, I don't know if it has to be, it doesn't have to be energy work. I just know that like, okay, I'm going to give you the awareness, and then the tools are going to start showing up in your environment. That's clear. Okay. So what's your next, what you're being called to do so that you can go through 2024 with your support team is, opening your heart, opening your throat, opening your intuition, opening your crown. So basically these upper chakras. The lower chakras have to do with like earth and grounding and those types of things. I'm not seeing that you're needing that. In order to speak to your guides, you're wanting to open up and basically attune more to these upper chakras and just bring awareness, know that that's your next step. And as you desire it, more and more things will enter your atmosphere, one little cookie crumb at a time. And I see that by actually, this is really cool. I'm getting a timeline. I love that. So I'm seeing that, I wish I could say it was sooner, but I'm seeing like by mid-year, this is going to unlock for you. That's awesome. Cool. All right. I'm just going to close down. Send your energy back to you, Michelle. Thank you to your guides. Bring my energy back to me. Cool. Awesome.
That's so awesome, because I know Michelle, and in conversations I've had, I can see how this relates to
cool
things she's going through and everything. Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah.
I was saying, I remember when I was at that point where I was wanting to, I was like, oh, I wish I could talk to my guides, and I'm still I definitely am in communication with them. I'm still receiving, like, they want me to ask more. It's like, we have so much support and they want us to, but we also have free will.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's another rabbit hole.
I love that. So this is what, if they get the Ascend Pass, this is what they can expect for you to do. It's like you are, like what you said, like you see this, and then you see like the gaps in there, and then you say that this is the next step. These are the
if you're going to get them, this
for.
is amazing. If you're going to be helping, I'm going to say me too, because I'm going to be there and I'm going to do the work.
Yeah.
But if you help us, really get so clear on what our core desire is, because that's what your goal is. It's like your core desire. And okay, great. So, but like probably while you're planning, you're seeing that. You may not even realize you're doing this, but like you're unconsciously seeing it. Like if I was like, point to where it's at, because you know how they do that in like NLP, they're like, where's the future? Where's it when you're doing like timeline therapy? Anyway, that's for you, not everybody else. The point is about, it's like you're unconsciously probably seeing your goal out here in front of you in the future. Okay. So if you want to manifest it and really and I mean that in the least woo-woo way possible. I mean, if you just want to be living that instead of only dreaming about it, then you will be living it when it's right here in your body, embodied in your environment. Right. So that's what we'll do is, when you come, your VIPs can come to me with their goal, and we'll read that energy of that goal, read their energy, and see how, what's in the gap. also, how wide is that gap? That might be a really interesting thing to know too. Like, what if I was like, oh, there's like, it's like right there. You're like right there.
Oh
Right?
yeah. Instead of like giving up, like, wait, I'm right there.
Yeah, that's so encouraging. Or if the gap is a little wider, we might say, okay, well, what's in that gap? And then, at least we can illuminate the path. That's another thing. We can actually like run healings to like illuminate the path. So anyway, it's going to be very fun.
It is. Let me see if can we do one more maybe, or
Sure.
are you done? Okay, let me see if we can.
I was going to ask you while like still in the state.
Huh?
I was going to ask you while we were still in the state, but let's do it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, let's see if anyone would want one. Let's see who's coming in, because I know people are coming in and out, Okay, so Carolyn is on here.
Cool.
And so
Hi, Carolyn.
Yeah. So she would like to have a reading. We can do that.
Cool.
Do you want them to ask a specific question, or you're just going to go ahead and just read?
She can. Sure. Ask a question. I did this with Marta the other day. It was super fun. I'm always like, I have no idea. And then when we do it, I'm like, oh my God, that was so good.
It's so funny in our chat when we talk about energy moving and all things, and I'm like, I really do feel like my awareness is expanding. I don't know if it was like my glasses, for I was like, I can see air moving because I'm so blind and my glasses are thick, but I do feel like there is an expansion that's happening in my awareness and my beliefs. Like, it's almost as if anything's possible, and I'm stepping into releasing that ego and thinking I had to do everything myself, or that this is about me. Mm-hmm. And the more I align with God's purpose for me, I'm like, no. And I feel so supported and confident.
You are. We saw it in your reading.
Yeah.
I'm holding back the details because people will think we're crazy, but I was like, oh my God. Like after that, I was so enrolled in your vision.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, you have insane, like so many, like there are different, all depths of realms that are like coming forward to support you with this event. I mean, there's just so much mission. We're here. We have, we come to live this life. We become embodied because we all have a purpose. And this is something I'm like so passionate about that. But anyway, okay. Should we do Carolyn's reading?
Yeah. Okay,
great.
Okay, yeah. So ready, Carolyn?
Okay. No, I'm not ready. I need to center again.
Okay. No problem. Center again.
Thank you. I gotta like move my energy down because it's like all in my head. Okay, cool. Give me a sec. It really would have been more efficient to just do it all together. Sorry, guys. Love you. Sorry, not sorry, really. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, we're there. Awesome. So go ahead and state Carolyn's full name 3 times, please.
Carolyn Torres. Carolyn Torres. Carolyn Torres.
Awesome. And by the way, does she have a question?
Let me see here. Do you have a question? When it comes through, I'll read it for you if she does.
Okay. Yeah, I'm already like clearing out energy because I see this yellow and then I see this brown, and the brown is between me and being able to see this really like luminescent yellow. And so I'm like, okay, what is this brown, And then I feel like it's like almost like I'm reading like a disappointment. And so I'm like reading like a disappointment, and it's actually blocking my view of this stunning bright yellow. And when I even notice the stunning bright yellow, it turns into like a sunflower. So I think what we'll do is, and I don't know if I'm going to do this right this moment, but when we shift into energy healing mode, I'm going to actually ask that we shift this disappointment, because it's a perspective, a lens. That's how I see it. And I feel like if I just move this out of the way, what's on the other side of it is this incredible blossoming. Because I gave a reading yesterday where a sunflower showed up, and it's not like that's like a normal symbol for me, but I guess because of yesterday's reading, I remembered that the sunflower, and it's still like, even when I asked, it's like, yep, that's what we're showing you. It's showing this to you for. It's like this sunflower is representing a blossoming, but it's a potential. It's a potential blossoming that also, when I say potential, actually, what comes in is this like, it's really interesting. It's like, because I don't know how to give that voice to that. It's a potential, and it's like, so, right, because we're so used to like black and white thinking, but this is existing in a realm where it's like, it's a potential and it's also happening. It's a potential and it's also happening. And if we remove this brown, which we're going to do here in a moment, what it's going to unleash is our ability to actually just witness it. And what did I say about awareness? Is like it, oh, okay, cool. Then we're going to actually close the gap there, and that will accelerate and yes, and I also want to, God, I wish I was taking notes, but I also want to run something for like confidence. So that way it's like we close the gap. It's not confidence, it's belief. It's an unwavering belief. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to stop talking about it, and we're going to do it right now. Okay. So I'm just going to move this, kind of get that energy moving, that brown. Okay. We're going to move it to the side here. Okay. It already is moving to the side just by being witness. That's so cool. It's shifted from like covering my like yellow to kind of like, it's like shifted to like right here, which is super cool. It's on the way out. In fact, if I looked a little bit deeper, it almost tells me that like, I'm kind of witnessing like if there's like old agreements. Sometimes we have agreements with like, agreements are like, okay, I grew up a certain way and this is what's expected of me. And we get some of those from our mom, and we get some of those from our dad, and we get some of those from school. And so it's like the ones from the feminine side shifted. Let me see if that's true. It's hard to tell, actually. Let me see. Yeah, because there is so much light. Okay. Anyways, I will just go with that. Is like, because that's what I originally saw, was that it was like shifting, it more easily shifted out of the feminine. And so I feel like there were maybe more agreements on that's where I'm having a hard time really saying that definitively, because I also feel this kind of heaviness. Okay, we're going to start doing some clearing here. Bottom line is we got to move this brown so that you can witness your blossoming, which is already happening, but has so much more potential. And what will unleash the potential is your witnessing and closing that gap so it's embodied. Closing the gap so that you feel it and have an unwavering, again, it's like an unwavering confidence, unwavering belief. Okay, cool. So, Carolyn, if you would like to receive the energy healing, please just think right now. Yes. Nothing can be forced on you. Always, you can only receive what you're willing to receive. Oh, this is so cool. The brown is shifting. It is kind of heavy. It's not moving fast. It's shifting. It's been there for a long time. It's not moving fast. But what is so cool is what's coming in from the top, what's dripping in to replace the spaces. The brown is to here now, right? It was covering. The brown is to here now. In this little bit, we're going to hold this, and we're going to be patient. We're going to allow that brown to move out. But what's coming in is so beautiful. It's an orange color that makes me think, because orange is related with our sacral. And so the quality is like a creative. So it's like creativity. Oh my God, that's so amazing. So as you release doubt, what's coming in. I think it's like, it's not an unleashing, it's a gifting. You make space for a gifting of more and more creativity, more and more creativity. That's what's available for you. That's so beautiful. It makes me want to cry. So like, we're just going to hold space for this brown to move. It's moving slowly. It's been there for a long time. And now it's feeling like an old friend. That's so cool. I'm like, bye-bye. We're saying bye-bye. That's really cool. Yeah. And as I was like saying the bye-bye, and of course I sound like I'm joking, but I'm not joking. And I'm sure you kind of know that on a certain level. And then I start to see like blue. So it's like communicating. That's interesting. Okay, let's ask for a next step for you because we've done the healing here. We're going to like really bring in the orange so that you can experience creativity now. We're blending it with your yellow. We're bridging the gap between you and you're blossoming with creativity, the creativity that's been gifted, showered upon you as a gift. Let's actually, I want to just like make the orange a little denser. So it's not like something that's just going to be fleeting. I want you to really walk with this creativity and really feel this creativity. That is so cool. As I'm like making this orange more dense, a stem came out of the sunflower. And that represents a rooting. Yeah, that's so cool. Cool. Just bringing this into your body here. Okay, we're complete. So I'm just gonna thank your guides for showing up and thank them for giving us those orange gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Call my energy back to me. We're complete.
That's awesome. That to me, that is another spot on one too.
That was good, right?
Yeah. That is amazing. I love it.
I love it because I have no idea what's going to show up.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And what I just love about it is that you don't know Michelle Serta. I know you know Carolyn, but I don't think you're as close to Carolyn as I am to Carolyn. So
no, I don't know these things.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for everyone that's going to join us.
It's just, it was like, that was coming through me.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Cool.
All right. We're approaching the hour mark. So I will let you go back and relax because I know this is a lot of work that you're just kind of like sending out and channeling as well.
Well, yeah.
And so I cannot wait. Can you believe in 3 weeks, we're going to be at the Aligned Businesswoman Circle here in Houston, Texas. If you have not signed up yet, you need to get your pass today. There's 3 different levels of passes. You get the Zen Pass, where everyone that gets the Zen Pass is going to get some headshots with FemForce photography. You're going to be able to do all the workshops, swag bag. We're going to feed you. I'm like excited about the food. Like I keep talking about, we're going to feed you because I'm a foodie. I'm like, we're going to feed you. We're going to wrap up the day with a happy hour. It's a cash bar, but you'll be able to eat there because we have some little goodies for you. At the place where we're having it, they have like, I don't know what's called, like bocce or some kind of game. It's kind of like a bowling kind of game.
Bocce.
Bocce, yeah.
With the balls?
Yeah. Cool. And so we rented out 3 spaces upstairs so people can do that after the workshops and after the day. The vision board stuff, we already have it all for you. Just show up with your business cards, a smile, looking good, ready for camera. If you're getting the Align Pass, which is the mid-tier, you get more photos. And then you also, so it's not just headshots, but you also get lifestyle photos, but you also get a group coaching call with me post the event so that we can make sure that if anything came up later on, we tweak that strategy for you and you get to further strengthen your bond with the women that you're going to be connecting with at the event. And then if you get the Ascend Pass, you get all of those things plus a VIP day with me, plus you get the energetic soul alignment or energetic goal alignment with Chrissy at the event. So, and plus you get B-roll with FemForce. You're just getting so much more the higher tier that you get. And I'm really excited about it. And this is the link right there for you to sign up. Yeah, in 3 weeks. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be here sooner than we realize. And invite your friends. Oh, I have a huge announcement to make. I totally forgot. I don't want to forget this announcement. So on the 19th, early bird ended. And early bird pricing was like $197 per ticket. And you can't get that anymore unless one other way. If you buy a ticket for you and your biz bestie, so you buy 2 or more tickets, you get early bird pricing for those multiple tickets. So that is for every single tier there is, every single different level of passes. So, you could technically get that $197 deal because right now Zen passes are $297. you technically get that when you buy 2 or more tickets. And so it's available right now if you go to this sign up page, vanessaamiller.com/the circle. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Oh God, this was so much fun. Thank you for inviting me to your live event. Thanks for asking me on the show. So much fun.
I can't wait to
I'll
hug
see
you.
everybody on the internet. What?
I said I can't wait to hug you in person.
Yes, it is going to be such a blast. And seriously, I cannot wait for this event. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.